Hi, I'm Dan Clark, and we're about ready to make our first trip to the Kingdom Hall. And the invite that they give you is to come to one of the meetings. And this usually happens after a few studies. They sense that they've got a good connection with you, that there's a relationship is built, and they want to invite you to see some of the friends. And I'm going to be honest with you, what you're really doing is going to see your next family, because before they're done with you, you're going to leave the family that you have. This is all being done covertly anyway. You're told at this point not to tell your family about your trip to the Kingdom Hall. You're told not to tell about your study. And so this is really going to be your new family. And I'm telling you, they really do hype it up. When you go to the Kingdom Hall, you're pounced on. There's a line. They tell everybody before you come that their study is coming and to make you feel welcome. And so everybody gathers around you. It's like, you know, the Moonies or some other organization where it's this big family thing and you're feeling just overwhelmed with love and we're so glad you're here. It's smiley faces. And then very quickly after that, after you make this first meeting a couple times, they don't tell you that there's several more meetings. They just talk about this one meeting and you think, wow, this is really cool. You know, it's just a nice little study we go to, you know. But then all of a sudden they tell you, would you like to make another meeting? There's another, you say, oh, there's another meeting. And they say, yeah, they said there's a Watchtower study and it's wonderful. It's question and answer and you get to participate. And so you make the Watchtower meeting and you find out that that's actually two meetings. It's a public talk, and then there's a Watchtower. So there's a short, I don't know if it's a 30-minute talk now or what it is. They've shortened it, but there's the talk, and then there's the question and answer Watchtower. And so, you know, you find out that there's that meeting. And then they tell you that there's a theocratic ministry school after you've went to that a few times. And so the next thing you know, you went to the one meeting, the book study, and then you were invited to the Watchtower study, and now you're being invited to the Theocratic Ministry School where you learn to teach, you learn to speak at the door. You're actually in school, you're going to school, and you're actually graded. When you give a talk, say just as an example on gestures or introductions that arouse interest, you could get a week, a W, which means do it over if you didn't reach the audience, if you didn't do a striking introduction that captured their attention. So you're actually in school now, and you're further being led along. Now you're being taught how to preach at the door. And this is huge. This is huge. They teach you how to reason from the scriptures. They teach you how to overcome objections. You're being taught all the tricks of the trade, if you will, within the organization. So what started out with very vague, this free home Bible study turns into multiple meetings, and then it grows from there into assemblies, circuit assemblies, district assemblies, and it's never ending. Eventually, it's your whole world. And what's outside of your world is everything that you thought was normal before, your family, your friends. Everything now is outside. This is your world. You participate very limited with your work. You participate very limited with your family. You participate very limited. All the things that you've learned are all changed now. No Christmas, no holidays, no birthdays. And I won't go into all that because next I want to talk about baptism. Because now that you've seen the whole structure, you've seen the assemblies, you've seen all the meetings, you've sort of been worked into them, massaged into them. And you're sort of liking it now. You're getting the hang of it. Everybody's encouraging you, telling you you've done wonderful. You're amazing. This is so awesome. You're progressing so well. You're really starting to love your family and your surroundings, and you're being swept like a vacuum into this idea from Rutherford, this idea from Taze Russell, these founders. You're being sucked into their idea. So I want to talk about next baptism. And baptism, I want to say, this is very frightening. It's not the baptism that's frightening. It's what you've got to do to become qualified for baptism. And that's what I want to talk about in the next video. Thanks.